Well, good morning, I think. I think I barely had 4 hours of sleep last night, but I don't get generally a whole lot of sleep anyway. Personally, I'm glad to see 2024 disappear. Although, I can't totally knock the year. I got a few things accomplished, that's for sure, but alas, a new year. I don't know how many people are hungover out there, but I'm very glad to say that I'm not hungover because I just don't drink. Oi. Oh, everybody always says we're going to start fresh in a new year. I'm kind of a person, just do what you feel is best for your new year. You can change things around. You don't have to stick to no heavy resolutions, but think of what went on in 2024 and good or bad, and just kind of go on from there. Learn from the past. This way you have a brighter future. So we all have to make decisions in our life about things, some things that we don't like. But life goes on until it can't. That's just the way it is. Oh God, I still hear karaoke in the background. It'll go on throughout today, but we don't hear it really loud here. I hear it in the background, but it's nothing that's alarming to us. Or if I step out here outside, I'll hear it in the background, but in the house, I don't hear it at all. 20 people already. Well, good morning, everybody. And this officially is 2025, man. If you haven't figured it out so far. Some people think it's a big hoopla and all that stuff, but well, look at it this way: it's another year of your life. Besides your birthday, you made it to another year. And again, I'm always astounded knowing the date that I was born, the year I was born. Then I look now, and realistically, I was born in the first. Let's see now, that would actually be 54. That'd be the first half of the last century, if you want to get technical about it. I don't know about you. I think that's quite impressive. These days, you know, anybody that can survive to a decent age, you did something right in your life. I don't know what you did. I can't conclude anything other than perhaps some of my dietary interests and stuff like that, supplementation. I could probably add to that. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I didn't get into all my supplementation things. I really don't know if I'd be alive today. I really don't know that. Makes me wonder. Hello, Josie. Is everybody all hungover out there? Well, why don't we start this new year without who be? Oh, Anthony. There you go. 2025. Woohoo! I'm still wearing my 2025 Welcome 2025 shirt that my girlfriend's daughter bought me and some of the kids. Oh, and I definitely need a shower. So, as you saw in my last video, I did share a little bit of my New Year's, some of the fireworks that were going on out here and so forth. I'm just glad to get it over with. I've never been a holiday person, to be honest with you. I've never been a holiday person. A lot of it, a lot of the holidays were commercial, yeah. And hello, Anthony. Welcome always back to my show, whoever you may be. And I don't want to sound very skeptical, Anthony, or anybody, but I know there's a lot of trolls that come on here and they kind of act like, oh, they're all friendly with me and so forth. And some are. Uh, but I always have that 1% of doubt. But hey, you've been cool on my show, whoever you actually might be, so that's cool with me. And you know damn well I'm having my cup of tea every morning. green tea, my turmeric in it. Oh, yeah, I went to bed at, about 1 or so. And I think, I don't know. I think I woke up briefly at some point in time, if I can remember right. Just went back to sleep again. And I just got up about, it's over a half hour ago. I got up. So maybe I got 5 hours in, and it's better than a kick in the ass, considering New Year's and so forth. Yeah, it looks like I've been pretty much doing regular shows on here, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I really don't know where this is going. I don't benefit on here monetarily, obviously, and I'm not begging for money like some people. I kind of witnessed something that was pretty sad last night, and according to how you want to look at it, and I really don't want to have to bring him into this, but I really have to. It has to do with a lot of things what detainees get away with, and people just being who they are, As you know, Barry did numerous shows actually last night, but here he was in his detention cell and allowed him to walk freely, while the Indian guy could only go beyond his cell gate and into that one area right there, but he couldn't go downstairs. I don't know. But Barry's been there long enough to know everybody by name, because people reside in that dwelling besides the guards, and one of them at least, the guards actually live there, I believe, or maybe both of them do. And there was no big hoopla going on at the detention center, except I think they attempted a little bit of karaoke or something like that, but there was booze. I've seen the bottle of booze. In one scene, I saw the bottle, and he had his Coca-Cola. He could make his mixes. And he was like he owned the place. It was like he owned the place. Well, he's been there now officially. Is it officially now 21 months? Yeah, 21 months. And he was just really mouthing off, and he acted like he actually acted like he owned the place. I really never heard of a detainee situation like this. We get full use of his cell phone for whatever he wants to do. And I heard whenever he talked in there, and I heard him, and I know his voice, and he was definitely drinking. There was no doubt about that. He was definitely drinking. That's kind of insulting to the penal system, and I think it's really, for immigration, and these guys are just guards. I mean, we're no official immigration, whatever. They're just basically hired as babysitters for the facility. That's all they really are. And apparently they allow him to get away with a whole lot of shit, but I'm sure they can't wait for the day that they actually get him out of that place. But I could also, on another note, I could say that he's been there long enough to consider this home. Now, I want you to look at this a different way. When you stay long enough, some people don't rent an apartment for, 21 months, okay? He's been there 21 months. That's home. Face it, it's home. That's his home. And he's adjusted to the everyday routine. Of course, if he didn't have his phone, he'd be in holy turmoil. He would really be in turmoil without the phone. And I can understand why. Because quite frankly, if I was in that position, a phone would probably save my life. Be able to look at movies on there, whatever you want to do, and do live shows. I mean, amazing to get away with that. I mean, in consideration that the guy was put in there for, immigration purposes, but he's being held there because he's got a case, as we're all aware of, and it has to do with 5 cyber libel cases. Anybody's new to this, 5 cyber libel cases. And yet, the guards know he's using his phone. But yet he continues to go on there show after show and doing the same thing he did against the person that put him in there or put him on trial. No regards to anything. then he'll tell the guards, oh, see this picture? He showed his ass in the picture, or something like that. He's a bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. But these guards don't know his history. They don't. The babysitters don't know his history. They have no idea about his history. None. If they did, they wouldn't give him all these privileges. But it's easy to tell people that are really uninformed about the history of the individual that actually is incarcerated. It's easy for them to think that, oh, this guy's just, you got a bad turn, somebody did something they shouldn't have done. They got him locked up and all that stuff. But, well, we know the history. We don't have to go into that. And really, for the new year, I just don't want to go into the history of this guy. We're aware of him. But last night, I did have a chance to skim through his show. Mostly he had the camera set up on a stand or something. And you just hear a lot of gerbil, whatever, going on in the background. And he acted like he was in control of that place. I mean, in total control. Hey, how you doing? He probably said Happy New Year's about 50 times to the same people. It was very obvious he was drinking. Nobody's going to tell me different. Nobody's going to tell me different. He was drinking in there. I don't know if his girlfriend was there, she's coming over today or something, whatever. But he used the word babe a lot. I imagine his girlfriend was probably there. But something told me that maybe she wasn't, because, she got up in New Year's with the family, then maybe on New Year's Day come over and visit him. But, whatever. That's really not a portion of the issue. It's just an observation. Just really an observation is all it is. But when you've been in there long enough in a place like that, it is home. You get used to the uncomfortable mattress, the constant decibel levels of noise from the outside, because it's right on the street, really. Horns blowing, sirens blowing from the nearby fire department, and I mean that's murder in itself. That would be very uncomfortable. The living conditions, of course, are very horrible. But it's not supposed to be a country club. It's not meant to be a country club. But realistically, the only support I give to him or anybody that's in that place is that it's a matchbox. And if you guys seen the videos of what the place looked like in there, tons of boxes and papers and old furniture strewn throughout the place. If that place caught on fire, it would go up just like that. Just like that. Okay. And if you happen to be on the 3rd floor, how would you get out? I think there is one window that doesn't have bars, but it might be a little difficult getting out. Yes, it's amazing. I mean, this is, it's a developing country. And they decided to utilize this place for detention. And I really don't understand that they couldn't find a better place than that to put detainees. I really don't understand that. I guess the other choice would have to be in an actual prison, which nobody wants to be in. Yeah. Brain damage, hi. His girlfriend was there wearing, oh, okay, then that was her. Okay. Okay, gotcha. It looks like a tornado hit it, didn't it, really? Well, this is not to, get back into the whole shit of this guy, but, I think we need to clear the air about a few things on here. Starting the new year fresh, and, you can get whatever's out of your system about him, and I'll get whatever's out of my system about him, and that it's time to move on. Yeah, it really is a horrible place. For anybody, even for him. Even for him. Wow, it sounds like I'm being supportive of him, but only in that one thought, that place is just not, it's not for any human to be in. That's the only support I give him on that. That's it. Even for him. And I don't like the guy, obviously. But the living conditions are very substandard. And as such, they shouldn't be using that facility for anything. And I do mean anything. Knock the fucking thing down. Create housing or something, or whatever. But yeah, that's just not, it's not a rightful place. It's not It's not a good place. Brain damage. Bursts of vape smoke were visible in the front of the camera. Hopefully the case will be wrapped up for you early in the year. Well, both me and him both want this over with. But the outcome is really not all up to me. I mean, and that's the truth. The outcome is not all up to me. Not totally. It's really not. The sooner this ends, the better, and we all move on. That's what I say. No matter where it goes, it goes. That's it. No matter where it goes, it goes. Why did they put the soda in the freezer? Now it's all frozen up. I didn't want any soda. I'm just looking in the freezer, getting my blueberries, of course. You know, every year that goes by makes you think, doesn't it? It really makes you think about a lot of things. And I'll think about all the wasted fucking time and oxygen on this guy. And then I'll ask myself the question, is it worth it? Well, I have to say yes to that. And I don't care about the naysayers out there. When you do things that he's done, you've got to intervene on this. It's a personal decision that you have to make on your own, but I had to intervene on this thing. It's almost like I really have a choice. There's nobody really on here who really knows me personally and what I'm able to tolerate or how much I want to tolerate something. And I had to make that personal decision where I wanted to go with this. Because the truth is, a guy, you know, he's gotten away with a whole lot of shit in his life, and every one of us knows that. He really has. It's time that things catch up with him. Do I think he's ever going to learn from this experience? I really don't think so. Even if he got prison time, I just really don't think he's going to learn from this. Where are those cats coming from? I'm hearing this. There's some people could learn from an experience, that there's others that are just oblivious to what they've done and why they're in their situation. And maybe this is a good lesson for him. I hope it is. But although he's enjoying his leisure life in this particular detention center where he has free realm of the place, did you hear him out there acting like, hey, yeah, it's my community, this is my people, I run this place? Well, he's been in there long enough to feel that way, like it's an apartment complex and he's just a tenant or something, and you know, that's what it kind of seemed like to me. He was mouthing off, talking about assholes. Fuck that, oh, what an asshole. I don't know who he's talking about, it wasn't me, but he's acted like, you know, he's this accepted person in his detainee community. Talking to people like it's their relatives, you know. Well, I don't know about you, but a detention center should not be like that. I say fuck that shit. That's what I say. You know, he's in there for a fucking reason. It's not supposed to be a country club. Mary's not required to see a doctor. COVID exemption is still in place for all recipients. Stephanie says that's exactly what I was thinking. He's making it like it's his own community. Strife and Justice is here. Social Security stopped requiring doctor examinations for benefits. I didn't know that. But thanks for sharing that. In fact, I gotta submit, I can't procrastinate with this. I have to get my ass moving. And I gotta fill out a form, proof of life, because they're gonna want to see, you know, because they're sending money the more advanced stage you get, they're going to be wondering, are you still alive? Because we're not going to send you no more benefits. So I have to actually get off my ass. I'm not sure how I'd get it to them, though. I get these forms online, but what a lot of people understand is a proof of life form. Now, of course, if you look at any local Social Security office, say, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm alive. But if you're living in another country, it's not like you have an American Social Security office out here. And you got to get these forms or documents, fill it out with some proof and ID and all that. And where the hell you send it to Social Security, I really don't know. I've never been able to contact Social Security on the phone, ever. Of course, it would have to be overnight here to contact them at their business hours. But I've never been able to call Social Security, whatever number I retrieved on the internet, and have anybody answer or whatever. But yeah, for those retired that are living in another country, it's very advisable to send in a proof of life form, because you might suddenly find yourself cut off because they assume that you're dead or something. So without knowing whether you're alive or dead, they can cut you off if they want to. They can cut you off. There's no question. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a good question. The embassy. I'm not sure. I mean, it's worth looking into, but yeah, I can't answer that question. But, every day goes by and I keep on saying, I'm going to do this, 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 and I just don't think about it and I don't do it. I got to force myself to do this because, one day I could find myself being cut off. I mean, legitimately cut off, not like the liar who's been receiving his payments the whole time. And the whole thing is he shouldn't be receiving those payments. He really shouldn't be, because he's incarcerated. He's in jail. And those benefits are supposed to stop. So whether you guys have the time and effort to want to do this, I know Blaze said he was doing it, but call it in. Tell him exactly where he's at, what's going on. They have these report forms online. Report, something to do with Social Security, someone who's receiving Social Security. Because he's been abusing the system the whole goddamn time. I'm sorry, but, I don't have a great back, but I'm not going to bullshit about it. I could definitely tell you that. If you saw my x-rays, I mean, I have proof. I have legitimate proof of my spine, which is pretty fucked up. Even the doctor said, yeah, you got a lot of shit going on with spondylolisthesis, disc narrowing, a little bit of scoliosis, degenerative disc disease, all that shit. It's for real. I got x-rays here right now that prove it. I can prove, absolutely prove, and I don't lie about it. I absolutely cannot perform any kind of rigorous exercise here as far as, any hard-ass type of labor. There's some light things I can do, but quite honestly, there's certain things I can't do and I've never been able to do. This is going back a lot of years, too. I'm not the, able-bodied man I used to be in consideration of age and injury and all that other shit. I can prove that, though. That I can prove. But we've never seen any evidence of this guy. Belief. He might be on what they call crazy pay. We call that in the United States. I don't know if everybody refers to it as that, but we call it crazy pay. It means that you have your disability based on some kind of a mental issue that prevents you from working or functioning. I mean, it's pretty clear to all of us that, and this, of course, is an opinion that I think is shared by most everybody on here. Please, I don't want to make this whole show about him, but let's just kind of switch, go through this. He certainly has demonstrated to us that, how do I put this kindly? No other way of putting it, really. It is my opinion, again, by his own demonstration, his very immature behavior, his whole demeanor about him, not having the ability to make positive decisions in his life, his whole behavior is clearly having to do, in my opinion, with psychological issues. I don't think his disability is based, like I said 1,000 times, if he could ride a motorcycle 90 to 100 miles, remember, you're not sitting up straight on a motorcycle all the time. You're leaned over. And let me tell you something. If you got back issues, you can't ride a motorcycle for any distance. In fact, some may not even be able to ride a motorcycle. Prolonged position on the motorcycle where you're leaned forward, because basically your body is not in an upright position. You are leaned over a bit. And if you have back issues, you won't be able to drive a motorcycle any distance at all. I'm sorry, but I know I couldn't. People say to me, how come you never got yourself a motorcycle? Well, I didn't get a motorcycle or scooter or whatever for several reasons. One, on the least of the list is, well, it should be on the top of the list, is that it's really dangerous to drive any kind of a motorcycle or scooter out here. We all know that. We all know that. It's insane. It's insane out here. It's not if you'll get into an accident. It's actually, the question is when. And you have no protection on there at all. You don't have steel doors to protect you, nothing like that. You get into a motorcycle accident, you're going down, you're going to get hurt or killed. Secondly, I don't have the physical ability to drive a motorcycle and have my back in such a position. I just don't. And that would be very uncomfortable for me. So when he's claiming that he has some disability based on his back and everything else, I never bought that story from the beginning, and I never will. Well, you guys do what you feel you want. If you're upset that he's collecting taxpayers' money and so forth, and he's in jail and he's still getting his Social Security, then do your public duty. Judge Kubota says, you just keep moving, Frank, as you do. You're not sitting around all day, every day. No, I don't sit around like some people think I do. I'm not plastered in my chair watching TV all the time because I can't stay still. I'm not the kind of person who, for two reasons I can't stay still, because I'm more of a very mobile person. I have to keep occupied, I have to keep busy. Secondly, blood circulation. It's terrible to be sitting in a chair all day because you got to move your blood. Judge Kubota says, 7-year-old and no knee replacement, you're doing well. Judge Kubota says, the love machine has back issues. Yeah, he's got back issues, yeah. And you could fuck like a rabbit, you ain't got no fucking back issues. I'm sorry, because I won't get too technical, but the thrusting of your pelvis area, your hips, I call it. If you really had back conditions like that, and according where your back condition is, that would be a very difficult thing to do. That would be. According, where your back issues are. Yes, taxpayer money, that's my money. Well, there's a lot of people getting away with that kind of shit. And some people claim PTSD, and some really have it. And who knows, did I have PTSD? I've had some events in my life, I think that were, I would say, oh, that's nasty, what you're sweeping up, which I think were kind of traumatic. I'm not going to discuss any of it, but I have, I most certainly have. But I never made a claim for PTSD. There are a lot of people collecting that, deservedly or not. There are people in the military that it's an easy fix if they don't want to work or anything. Some of them do come out if they actually seen action, and I understand that. Although I've never been in the service, but I understand that. And there's some people that are very highly affected by what they've witnessed, and people who are in Iraq and other places, even going all the way back to Vietnam. These are real situations, not phony situations. They're real situations. Childhood trauma too. You know, there's all kinds of things we could discuss on that, but we're not going to turn this into a medical show either. But I think some people are just fucking with the system. I've never fucked with the system because if you're getting a disability, you have to go through rigorous testing. It's both physical and mental examination. Well, I noticed as a fact because I went through that. That's how you get a disability. I've had injuries on the job. I've had injuries outside of a job too, on top of that. And sometimes I wonder how I could walk at all, to be honest with you. I've been lucky so far at my age that it hasn't all caught up with me, not yet. But there's definite evidence of disc degeneration, certainly. My spine is not totally straight because of a certain percentage of scoliosis. And shit, if you've seen my paperwork on this, you'd say, yeah, man, you got some damage to your spine. There's no doubt about that, Mr. B. You got some definite damage to your spine, and I can fucking prove it. I don't have to prove it on here. Just know that it's real, and I got it, and that's that. Yeah. I even think I have damage to my neck because I was in a few accidents where I could have had whiplash. And I remember the tinge or jerk that I had when I was in an accident. Not a bad accident or nothing, but, you know, my head was jerked forward. I remember feeling pain after that. Well, that's all I needed to know. And later on, it all catches up to you. It all catches up to you. I fell on the bed of my truck. I was cleaning it. That wasn't a new truck. I bought a project. It was my Nissan Frontier. It wasn't your average Frontier. It was kind of lifted a little bit. Had the nice wheels and the roof rack and the step board, and it was kind of sporty. And I put a couple of thousand, I don't know how many thousand I put into that truck because it was a fixer upper when I got it. I had to replace the excuse me. I had to replace the front bumpers and all around the front. I had to get new parts. I had to just so much work I did to that. It was almost not worth buying it, but once it was all together, it was a good vehicle. It was a really good vehicle. I miss it really. Um, but one fateful day that I got the truck from the guy who was a mechanic, and he knew that there was a lot of work on it. He didn't want to do it. He put the money in for his own effort and labor. But I came over there with cash in hand, and I think I paid about 3,000 for it or something. What was it? A 2006? Oh, what was it? I cleaned the fucker up, fixed it up, cleaned it out. But when I first brought it home in my driveway, the bed of the truck was all soapy in water because I wanted to clean the bed out. It had leaves in it. It was filthy. So the minute I put the gate down and I stepped up on there, bam, boom, I went down like a half a second. and my right shoulder and arm went right into the wheel well, that hub. And man, that was traumatic. I mean, I was almost going to faint. My adrenaline, when I got out of there, I didn't know if I could stand up. I was actually in shock. And it was a very deep trauma to the arm. There was a contusion. To this day, it still acts up on me. It still acts up. Everything catches up to you, believe me. Everything catches up. It all catches up to you. Something that could have happened years ago has a way of catching up to you later on. Your body has an extraordinarily memory for trauma and injury. Okay, back to the comments. I'm kind of looking forward to him getting back to the USA just so we can see his next fuck up. That'll happen. Kubota says he's his own worst enemy after all. Well, I have no quarrel with that. He is his own worst enemy. But that's not my doing. That's not my doing. I'm sorry, but it's not my doing. I'm gonna have some oatmeal here. Definitely no more lasagna. I gained a little weight in my belly, a little bit here. Good morning. Happy New Year. We all got on Happy New Year shirts on here, too. Yeah, we do. Okay, blueberries. Put you right in here. Yeah, you don't see me eating fucking McDonald's shit and all that crap. I haven't been eating oatmeal for a while. So, eggs are okay to eat as long as it's only maybe 2 eggs a day. But I've been trying to have a couple of eggs each day. But I have blueberries every day. And I'm not going to go into all the medical shit about it or, nutritional things about blueberries. Just take my word. If you could find them, get them frozen, and they're fine. Frozen is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with frozen blueberries. In fact, there's something about frozen blueberries that's actually better than fresh, if you can believe that. It's something to do with when they're frozen and they get crystallized. It somehow brings out these antioxidants. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not a chemist. I can't tell you what's going on with that, but all you have to do is read. If you have the ability to read, then, you could learn stuff. You have to claim to be no goddamn doctor or nothing. It's reading. If you can spend the time reading something, a lot of people think that, I'm on YouTube all the time and that's all I watch on my phone or something. Well, yeah, YouTube, I do, other than the local genre of Philippines. No, believe me, I'm a very curious person. Even if there's something about an actor, I'll look up their net worth. I'll look up what's going on with them currently. Anything I have an interest in. Geological, physiological, you name it. I may not read books, but, well, we got the internet these days, and I take advantage of it. And that's how you learn. It's quite possible to have knowledge without having a medical degree or something. And I'm proof of that. I gotta understand, 50, 60, 70. Probably at least 45 years I've been into supplementation. Well, I'm still alive. I kind of figured I must be doing something right. I guess I am. I'm still here. It's 2025. Hola. And counting. For those that don't wish me well, I have only one thing to say to you. Go to hell. That rhymes. I'm not looking on going anywhere real fast, if you know what I mean. But the inevitable happens to all of us, is face to fact. Okay. Anybody got any resolutions you made for New Year's? If you had any at all, you can share it on here. That's okay. Joe Beans, the one that always comes on Barry's show. Well, Happy New Year to you too. I hope it'll be a happy one. We'll see. But I made it to the new year, and so did you guys. Rejoice. You made it to your last birthday, you made it to the new year. That's an accomplishment. And believe me when I tell you, the older you get, every year you stay alive is quite an accomplishment. And I know that to be true. I've seen and heard of people coming and going. Even here on YouTube, they're dropping like flies. Are they not? Then you got some of them that make fun of people's death. I don't know. To me, that's an invitation to fucking hell. Anyway, let's try to find some positive from this broadcast. Ken Unger. I don't know, Ken. What to say about you? You're wishing me great on holiday, New Year and all that stuff. But Ken, gotta understand something, man. I've listened to you make some lame comments about me on other shows. That's why, although thank you for the commending me for my entertainment value, Ken Unger, but you have said a lot of bad shit about me in your comments. I don't understand why you even coming to my show, to be honest with you. I call it a show, my live stream. Oh yeah, I've given a lot of entertainment. Some people appreciate it and some people don't. Face the reality, when you're in a foreign country, you need an outlet. I don't care what it is. Communicating with people of the same like. Well, they're not the same like with me. There's some real screwballs out there. But you were born in a Western culture, and you're now in a Southeast Asian culture, and it's radically different. And whether or not you like to physically hang around other expats, some people do find the need to communicate with other expats who understand your language, understand, Western culture. They can relate to things you talk about because they've experienced that themselves. And I think that's one of the reasons people come on YouTube, Western culture people. I think that is. It probably was my reason. And I think in the beginning, when I first came on YouTube, I spent time trying to basically share my experiences and emotions and the culture shock that I personally experienced. Let's call this the Year in Review show, okay? Why don't we just call it that? If it has to encompass other things, I guess so. Let's call it the Year in Review. That should have been a title on the show. I don't even think I added a title on here, did I? The Year in Review. That means we could talk about just about anything that transpired. Why not? It's the beginning of the new year. Call it the Year in Review. That's fair enough. And geez, a lot has happened in 2024. Some people don't think it's a big deal to have a kidney stone, and that was a traumatic thing for me. Go ahead, go look up people who've had kidney stones and listen to what they had to say about it. That's like getting shot. I mean, it's like, I've never been shot, but or stabbed in the fucking kidney. When you got a stone in there, man, you'll hear what people say, and it's true. They say it's probably one of the worst pains they've ever experienced in their goddamn life. Then I had to wear one of those fucking stents inside my fucking, between my ureter and the kidney, and for over 3 months for that alone. Jesus Christ. And I showed you the picture of it too, didn't I? I sure did. Well, it's unexpected. But that's fucking life. Things happen that are unexpected. You think I wanted to wake up one day or whatever overnight and say, Gilda, man, I'm really in pain, man. I got to go to emergency room or something, I went right straight to Cebu. I was taking things to help it like ibuprofen, but ibuprofen don't last long, man. And if you think you're going to get some good meds out here for pain, you're kidding yourself. Unless you're in a hospital, they'll fill you up, They'll give you some injections of something that has fentanyl in it, and otherwise, morphine. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. The pain is so bad that I don't wish it on anybody, and I do mean anybody. Even our good friend in detention, I don't even wish him to have that. I seriously don't. But just think if you had something like fucking cancer. I can understand why a lot of these people, they off themselves when they know that they're going to be in terrible pain. There's famous people have done it too. They off themselves because they don't want it to experience the pain. But living here in the Philippines, it's worse. I think the only time you're going to get medicine, I don't know this to be 100% true, is you're in the hospital. They'll give you these type of medications, but the way drug control is out here, if you think you're going to walk home with a big bottle of, I don't know, they have morphine tablets or something, I don't know. I'm just not thinking so. I'm not thinking so. But the cockroach never dreamed he'd spend his second New Year's behind bars. Well, he said it every time. I'm not going to spend another Christmas. I'm not going to spend another New Year's here. Well, you were wrong again. Einstein, you were wrong again. You were wrong again. And you'll continue to be wrong. And what he's put me through in every respect, financially, emotionally. I mean, I'm not falling apart like him, but this whole thing has been stressful. Of course it has. I'd be lying about that. This whole thing has been really stressful. But sometimes you got to do what you have to do. And you got to examine your own conscience and say, is it worthwhile doing this? Were you offended enough to do this? Are you willing to spend the time? Let me make you understand about something here in the Philippines. Stop scratching, Ginger. She's ready for another dose of this thing. Here in the Philippines, when you have a lawyer and you're putting a case against somebody, it's not his job to produce the evidence. You have to produce the evidence. It's a little bit similar in America, but not as much. It's a lawyer's job is to write up the paperwork. That's his job, is to write paperwork up. That's his job. Yeah. That's what a lawyer does, and you have to do, and you have no clue. Hey man, you really don't. I mean, well, you might have, because you know how good I am on putting evidence together, but obviously so, we wouldn't be at this point. But I don't get paid for my work of gathering evidence, videos, audio clips, you name it. I have to produce that. And what a lawyer's job out here is to do is just to put it on paper, make appearances in the court, gets paid very well for that. But you are the one that has to produce the evidence, not the lawyer. A lawyer is not an investigator. Oh, to some point they are, but very little. They don't do that. No. Invisible Friend is back. I would not be surprised if Bummer, if he gets real prison, tried if he tried to off himself. No. Excuse me. He's too cocky for that. No, no. He wants to be able to have free realm and free reign to hurt people, women, men. It's could possibly be because of his childhood. Oh, I'm sure that plays a huge, huge part in it. He was obviously abused. I mean, he said it. I mean, just not stuff I'm just making up to make conversation here to have a dialogue on my show. He's talked about it. He's talked about it. And he's had a bitter attitude. I imagine in school, what did he make, sixth grade or something? I'm not sure if he made sixth grade. We know he didn't graduate high school. We know that. And his upbringings and his environment in the South where he lived, is all pertinent to his total makeup of who he is as an adult. Well, we call him an adult, but he doesn't act like one. But it all blends together like you're making a soup. It's not a soup yet until you put all the ingredients in it. When it's all done, it's a soup. And all the ingredients are put together, you got a soup, and it makes you who you are. You are the soup of all your life experiences. That's who you are. And some people don't fare very well with their life experiences, and they wind up being extremely bitter. And I think this is one case proven. Yeah, and I don't think he'd be able to handle real prison. I just don't think he'd be. He said that I could adjust to anything, he said. No, you haven't been in a Philippines prison yet. What he's living in right now is like his own apartment. His girlfriend comes over, brings him stuff, you know, uses his Social Security to buy his Grab food. Because look, examine it. You don't get a belly like his. He looks like he's about 8 months pregnant. You don't get a belly like his unless you're eating. I don't mean eating good, like nutritional foods. He eats crap. Everything he eats is total crap. Okay? He not only has to worry about future incarceration, or whether it's prison or whatever it might be, he has to worry about his health. He's already got lung damage, and he's still vaping. I mean, vaping is no better than cigarettes. Hate to disappoint some people who like to vape. You shouldn't have any smoke in your lungs at all, period, if you have that much lung damage or have asthma, And he vapes. But then again, he's not a very intelligent person, so, I mean, that explains that much. Oh, he'll go right back to smoking. He gets out of here, I think he'll go right back to smoking those 3 foot long mighty whites, And that was part of his whole persona. You couldn't see him without a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. That's like low class. You have it hanging out of your mouth and blowing smoke at the viewers on there. Nobody wants. I mean, I may smoke, but I find it like even like with Jay, and I find that uncomfortable. You see Jay's show. He's got his booze. He's drinking all the time, and he's chain smoking his cigarettes. He's blowing.
Wait, give some medicines already.
Yeah, I'm going to give it in a little while. Then you hear his deep breath, blowing the smoke out, and like it's so satisfying. And I don't know, to each his own. But I mean, not on camera. I used to find it very uncomfortable when the bummer was smoking on camera all the time. Maybe it made me feel guilty about my smoking. I don't know, but I just thought his burping, his smoking on camera was not easy to watch. You know, That's why whenever I'm on camera, which I haven't been for a long time, you never see me smoking on camera. You've never seen that. Except I did a funny little skit with a comic. I blew some smoke or whatever, but I've never, and you guys all know that I've never smoked on camera. I go outside because I have respect for the people that are living here, which he doesn't. When he's around people or children, he don't care. You're not going to stop me from smoking. It's his whole attitude. You don't like it? Yeah, that's his attitude. He always says like, if you don't like it, fuck you. That's his attitude. That's why he is where he is. Fuck the immigration, fuck the embassy, fuck his lawyer, fuck everybody. Anybody that is an authoritative figure, he doesn't like. It's obvious he doesn't like authority. Judge Kubota, if anything, his literacy skills have improved during his incarceration. I've seen the words he uses. He don't even use it in proper context. Context. He just doesn't. Invisible Friend says we looked up his high school because all the yearbooks are digital. He was not listed in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. He also was not listed in the football team like he said he is a football team. Well, actually, at a younger age, he was more solid. But he was overweight, though. I've seen the old pictures of him. His face was all puffed out, and let's not make this all about him. But let's clean sweep, clean slate, 2024. Get it out of our systems. And whether or not I'm doing any more shows, or whether or not you want to even listen to my shows that have nothing to do with him, that'll be your thing. But I know most of you are here for the drama. They want to hear about Barry. It's like Marsha. It's the same shit. Try not to make him as important as he'd like to be looked at. He's not important. Except we have learned one thing about him. Well, many things we've learned, but we learned what an idiot really is like. That's what we learned. We know what an idiot is. Proven, beyond doubt. I don't know about you, but if I was in his situation, his exact situation, the last thing I'm going to do is to come on and continue to make shows that's highly inflammatory against the very person that put him on trial. You are brainless, a brainless wonder if you do something like that, and that's exactly what he's been doing. Non-stop. Remember he said, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to play that to the judge. And during my testimony, I'll play it. Well, the judge wants to hear it or not. I'll play it. I want the judge to know what he's all about, that he will never change, not to show mercy on this guy at all. I'm going to continue going after you. You're not going to stop me. I want the judge to hear that. I'll get that in. I will get that in. And I hope that influences the judge's decision on him at the end of this thing. I really hope so, but I will get that in. And maybe one or two more if allowed. And don't forget, we could always file a motion to introduce more evidence. You could absolutely do that. The judge could accept it or not. There's a lot more that's on the affidavits. There's a lot more than what our original submission of the affidavits were to the fiscal. There's a lot more. And that's not even talking about his threats. As I said, that's the second case. And that's going to be determined. And you know what's going to determine that? You know exactly, without me repeating, what's going to determine whether or not I give my attorneys to go ahead and put this out to the fiscal along with the video cards. That's going to determine. We won't discuss that, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean business here. I mean business. I've never been more determined in my life, ever. Hate it's a pretty harsh word, but I hate the motherfucker. Hate is a word that you shouldn't use. You could dislike somebody. When somebody has proven what a scumbag they are, yes, he did try to contact my girlfriend's kids. He lied about that. They told us. Why would they lie to us? Why would they lie to their parent? And what they said was, they said, the guy that your mother is dating is a sexual predator. I don't know. It was a child molester. That was the words. It was a child molester. Who the fuck does that? He denies it, emphatically denies it, but it's the truth.
My girlfriend's the one that told me. I didn't make this shit up. That her kids said it. And he lied about that. So how far will this guy go? He'll go to great lengths to try to attack people. 500 pesos. How could he ever come up with 500,000? No, 650,000. He still thinks it's 250. But I made an online deal that if he does what he has to do, and you know what that is, that will keep it at a more affordable level on the attorney's fees at 250K. That certainly is not even going to come close to cover my attorney's fees. Not even close. Well less than half. Well less than half. Well less than half. I think that's a good deal. As a lot of commenters, even on his show, said. I think you should take that deal, Barry, they said. And if you don't, like I said too, it's business as usual. Status quo. I don't care either way if he takes it or not. For once, he has to use what's left of his brain and figure out that this is the best I'm going to do for him. There's no more. Nobody is dismissing the case unless the judge dismisses it for some unbeknownst reason. But, you know, he likes to gamble, take a shot. He figures I'm just going to get away with a fine and I'm going to send me home. Or what did he just say in his show yesterday? If I could get bail, they're going to release me and send me home right then. Now, what does he think? What is he talking about? What a lame brain. They're not going to give him bail because he's a flight risk. That's what they call it, a flight risk. Not that he's going to get on a plane or he's able to get on a plane, but they call it a flight risk. After all, he eluded immigration for over 7 years. And now he's got a criminal case on him. He ain't going nowhere. He's not getting bail. In fact, there's not even any bail bondsmen in Cebu that I'm aware of. He's not getting bail. And he's not getting married. He doesn't have the quality. He just lies, lies, lies. He has no ability to get married. He even puts a date on it, January 31st. Do you guys realize what's involved to get married here in the Philippines under normal situations? Okay. There's a lot of prerequisites for that he don't meet. Financial responsibility, he don't meet that. An active, valid visa, he don't meet that. Passport, it's going to expire in 5 months. And then there's other things, NBI clearances, even police clearances from America. And there's some other prerequisites in there too. He does not qualify for that. He just doesn't. He'll tell you whatever you want to believe. Maybe he's trying to convince himself. Maybe that's what gets him through his incarceration. To believe in something that's going to happen that's not going to happen. Maybe psychologically that gets him through. He's in a dream world. He's delusional. Ken Unger says, okay, well, sounds fair, 250K, but even that, he has no money, plus he will have to pay the overstay fees to get deported and all that. That's not my problem. If he can't pay, if the judge agrees on that, for lawyer expenses, what happens is if he can't pay it, he just stays in jail or in prison, whatever, until he's able to pay it off. That's how it works. Look it up. Everybody seems to be experts on everything on here. Everybody's a lawyer. All you have to do is Google it. Don't have to listen to me. Just Google it. If you're unclear about some information, legal information, just Google it. There's a wealth of information out there on Google. In fact, I've learned a hell of a lot having that little tool called Google, search engine. It's absolutely amazing what I've learned. Look up something, boom, something comes right out. Boom, boom, bam. It's wonderful. So anytime you doubt somebody, look it up. See if they're telling a lie or telling the truth. That's all. It's not complicated. But no, he's not getting married. There is no way he can get married. And there's no way he's getting bail. So if he's begging on there for bail money, well, you've heard it from everybody. Don't give him a lead fucking peso. He just got $20 the other day from somebody. And what does he do? Oh, I got to order some ice cream. I'm going to get some Ben and Jerry's or something. All right, $20 ain't a lot of money. But wouldn't you think it'd be wise to put that money away? Because he says he's not getting his Social Security, which we know he is. But would it be wise that he would just add it? It's not much, but one raindrop isn't much. You get enough raindrops, you got a little, a little pool of water. You get enough raindrops, you got a pond. You get enough raindrops, you have a lake. Get enough raindrops, you have an ocean. You got to start somewhere, right? It's called subsidiary punishment. Ken Unger says, looks like he's going to be another jailhouse New Year's Eve for 2026. Yeah. Judge Kubota says, how funny is he? Getting married, like it would even help him if he could. Well, the whole idea behind getting married is because something like that. There's too much on him. It's just not going to happen. It's really sad because, like I said, and I don't only want to talk about his girlfriend, but I'll repeat myself and be redundant. I always am. I have nothing against her except the fact that she allowed herself to put this complaint on me, and Barry's behind it. We all know that. He denies it. Other than that point, she's never my favorite person. But, however, I don't hate the woman. I'll say that clearly to my audience. I don't hate the woman. I despise what she did with this report to try to fuck up my life. But if she's that gullible and naive to believe everything that Barry says, I could see why she did that. I'm no threat to her. I've never been a threat to her or her family. Where have I been a threat to her family? They say, Barry, I threaten her family, or she say I'm threatening her family, threatening her. When have I done that? You guys are on the pulse of what's going on YouTube. You know that. You all listen to me all the time. Because if I did say something like that, we would have seen it and heard it. Believe me, it would be out there on somebody copycat channel or something. You know that, and I know that. Absolutely. Just like everything else they record on me. It'd be out there. It's not out there. She's claiming on her complaint that, like, threatening her, and because of me, she's got PTSD. That was a funny one. Yeah, remember the tape. She's out there all the time with her friends, having fun, under the trellis, dancing to some ethereal music and shit. Oh, yeah, she's got PTSD up my fucking ass. She's got PTSD. Both liars. And I could say that without any remorse and without any legal concerns. I could call her a liar because she is a fucking liar. What she put on her fucking report was bogus, beyond belief. Bogus, entirely bogus. Not backed up by any factual evidence whatsoever. But she did that to appease him. He's out of his mind. He thinks to be a marriage, he must have a NBI clearance. I mentioned that, yes, to get married. And he would never pass, exactly. Kenunga says, good grief. His pic was on the front page of fucking newspapers over there. I hope immigration remembers that. I kind of wish my lawyer would have sent in copies of that to the Board of Immigration Inquiries. But like I said, I'll handle anything that comes up. I'll handle it. But like I said, he's going down. And I'll bring him down even further. If that thing ever came through with his girlfriend's complaint. People say, Frank seems to be worried about his girlfriend's complaint. Well, of course. Of course. Wait, do you want to be deported? Of course. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned. However, I think the information that was submitted by my attorney is adequate enough to prove differently. So we'll just have to see. But as I said, they laugh and say, you ain't got no other avenues after this. You're just going to be deported. No, we do have avenues. There's a court of appeals that starts off with, then there's another level. And that could take years. I'm not going anywhere any fast, even if they had a deportation report on me. I think that was pretty cruel what she did, whether she was heavily influenced by her boyfriend or not. I don't know. Onward Christian soldiers, right? You know, so-called Christians and all this. God-fearing people. Hard-ass Catholics. And she would do something like this just to appease her boyfriend? You fucking kidding me? Let me get this med here. I gotta do this right. Where is it? Oh, where did I put it? Is it in the living room? Let me find this. I just want to make sure I'm doing an exact measurement on this thing. Oh, yeah. No, for the dog. Okay, where is this stuff? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, great. Okay, here it is. Let me put some lights on. I gotta measure out 1 milliliter on this puppy. Shake the bottle. 1 milliliter. Okay, what do I got on here? Gotta be exact on this shit. You can't fuck around. A little bit less. Okay, that should do. That's pretty damn close. I'm supposed to give this twice a day. Okay, so pardon me for a minute here. So I take care of my dogs. They're family. Well, she has no fucking understanding what family really is. His family wants nothing to do with him, that's for damn sure. Okay, some medicine. Yum yum medicine. Okay, ready? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. There we go. I administered this to my dog, and hopefully it helps with all this inflammatory shit going on with her. The skin. Oh my God, have you seen between her paws how inflamed they are? And I put cortisone cream on there, but, you know, it only does so much. Well, especially when you think the fact that she's licking it off. You know, with these little tiny little half-ounce, not even tubes, run about like $8. Not that I can't afford it, but why would I want to pay $8 for a half an ounce of something? Then she has to lick it off. Oh, well, thank you, you know. Do me a favor, give me 2 minutes. Anyway, and two other things. It was a really an embarrassing situation for both Ricky and him last night. You know, Ricky had a show on. He was over at Bamboozers again. And he was around the ugliest broads you could ever see. I suspect they were ladyboys. He does have a tendency to like ladyboys. The place wasn't packed. It's amazing. There was really not much going on there. I think he left the place early. And, you know, to live your life that way, you know, what's retirement really supposed to be about? Not what he's. Oh, must be around there. Get out of here, B. Fucking big ol' ass wasp. Get. I gotta check that out. It's gotta be a little nest around there. And then Barry's situation. That was really sad. Basically, he was allowed to go downstairs and whatever. And they got people living in that area, you know, the guards, or one of them at least, anyway. And there are actually families living at that detention center downstairs. And he was the boss man. He's running around there like he ruled the place. Hey, yo, oh, why don't you do this? Oh, fuck this. Oh, you're being an asshole. I mean, he was being himself. Like he ran the fucking place. Well, I mean, that's his home. Until something changes, that's his home. And he's kind of like a in-your-face type of guy. And here in the Filipino culture, they don't like in-your-face foreigners. They just don't. I know that to be true. They don't like in-your-face foreigners. He talks too much. If you listen to his voice and things he was saying, if you could make it out, he was clearly drinking. And I saw a bottle right there. He has one scene, it's near a Coca-Cola bottle, but there was a scene before that where there was a bottle of booze right there. I saw it. The guards let him get away with this shit. One big happy family at the detention center. I'll tell you what, though, he graduates into something a little deeper than that, like prison. He's not going to have all these frivolities. He's not going to have that at his disposal. Life's going to change radically. Got a copy of it? Yeah. No aircon at Bamboozers. What a fucking dive. I passed those places. Sisters, Bamboozers, and all that place. Barcode. They're all slummy, sleazy fucking bar joints, you know. I can't hang around that element. And I'm not going to apologize to anybody who's an avid drinker. I'm just saying, it's not my element. They're sleazy. The girls are sleazy, but that's the whole idea. Ricky thinks he's kingpin of the women, but let's face it, Ricky will never get a woman if he didn't have to pay for it, physically, out of his fucking pocket. And people are stupid enough to send him money. But then again, people are lacking entertainment in their life, and that's what they do. I want more drama. And people are actually writing in, oh, I like that girl, she's good looking. I tell you what, I seen some of Ricky's show last night, in between whatever was going on at my house here. There were some ugly broads, man. They weren't even. My understanding is that one of them was definitely a ladyboy. I don't know about the other two or three, but definitely ladyboys. Definitely. Oh, no, that's, you know, he's a little kinky. If he's into that kind of shit, God bless him, I guess. But I'm sorry, he's like 60 now, or whatever the hell he is. He's whatever the hell he is. I mean, come on, man. Get your life together, man, in some form or way. Gather roots and make a foundation. But I honestly believe, this is a year of review, by the way, the show. Sort of. It's turned into that anyway, why not? Let's get it all out.
because I'm in a mood. He knows that he's not the healthiest person in the world. We know his diet, how much he drinks. We could physically see him on camera. He doesn't look healthy. And it's really sad to go around thinking like you're a ladies' man. When you got to take physical money out of your pocket in order to have them there, or you got to buy him drinks. And unfortunately for Kevin, Kevin is doing the same damn thing. He's complaining about, oh, he doesn't have money and blah, 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 but he decides to take a dumpy apartment in town. As I said, you could put your arms out and probably reach the other wall, paying like $600 a month or something. He's complaining about food, but he just said on his show, oh, how do I sound? I just bought a new microphone. He just bought a new microphone. Well, good for you, Kevin. It means you don't need the money. Why are you begging on your show all the time? I think that if you're in dire straits because you're stupid enough to have to hang out at a bar, and the only way to get women to sit with you is to buy them drinks, and you're drinking too, double whammy on the expenses, and the stupid idiot, even at times, rang the fucking bell in there and had to fucking, well, he didn't know what that was. He's a bar guy. He doesn't know what ringing the bell means. It means you got to buy everybody a drink in there. So Kevin, I know you're probably going to listen to my show. You're full of shit, like everybody else is. You put yourself in your own position. You're making damn good money with your pension and Social Security. I don't want to hear any more bullshit. You shouldn't be going out buying fucking microphones if you're going to beg and you're going to complain that, oh, yeah, I'm broke. Well, then don't rent the place that's so expensive. Listen to Big E and Don C, what they had to say. I don't like either one of those guys, but they did give some good advice. He will not, just like Barry, will not take people's advice. So you're supposed to feel sorry for Big Kevin and send him donations? What the fuck is wrong with you people? What are your priorities in life? I mean, he's another scammer is what he is. Another scammer. Big Kevin has been one of the biggest scammers on here in actuality from day one. Oh, he didn't have money to go visit his kids when he's at his aunt's place. But he filled his fucking basement room with all kinds of monitors and new microphones, new gadgets that make noises, laugh machines, lighting with stands. And why, you supposed to feel sorry for him? Fuck that. Howling Dogs is the best bar there. Now, Howling Dogs 1 is open air also, but has air con near the band area. I don't know, they have 2 of them now. I don't know. I don't frequent those places. What, you want to hang around a bunch of sluts all fucking night? Can't find a quality woman? Does that make you a real man? Just to be around a woman and say, look at me, like Ricky does. Look at me. I'm hugging or kissing on some woman, and it's usually a lady boy. He's putting his money out on that. I think he has a death wish. I think he knows he has some serious health problems. This is my opinion. It's mine only. Don't have to share it. Like I said, again, he likes to throw caution to the wind. If you look at the guy, you can understand why he can't get a woman other than coming right out of his pocket, buying them phones and cash right out of the wallet or whatever. The guy can't get a woman on his own. He will never be able to be. Look at him. The guy's a fucking psycho. He's a fucking psycho. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me. I either say something factual or I don't. You could discern whether I'm telling the truth or not by your own experience of seeing his shows. The guy's a fucking psycho. Brevis is a fucking psycho. He's a stalker. Then you got this guy, Timmy. Even Barry don't like him anymore. I got this guy, Timmy, who goes from one personality to the other. He writes me a lot. He actually threatens my life. If you don't do this and free Barry by a certain date, this is going to happen to you. Then he writes back and says, yeah, I've changed sides. I'm all on your side. I don't like Barry. I hope he gets whatever he's going to get. Then he'll write back with another threat or some kind of intimidation. Even Barry doesn't want to hear from him anymore. We got Kevin fucking Turtle Man. I don't know where his psychology is. I don't know the guy. But for a married man and retired and everything else, he spends more time talking about me. Now he gets on live streams now to talk about me. The psychology that goes on here on YouTube is absolutely astonishing. It's crazy. Period. That's the word. It's crazy. They're crazy. Guess their life just didn't turn out the way they wanted to. But, you know, you're in your last stages of life. I mean, your last quarter, whatever, as these people are. You know, what the hell are you doing with your life? Look, I think I could be a very informative person. I think I've taught people a lot on here and all kinds of different subjects and all that. I'm worth listening to. I'd listen to me if I could separate myself. I've had a lot of good things to say, but come on. To spend your life and like Don C, again, I have to bring up Don C because he's a prime example of somebody who's living in another country, but he's always gravitating, you know, toward the Philippines and getting involved in the genre here and all the craziness and shit that goes on in the Philippines genre, you know. Something wrong with him for sure. I think he's an intelligent guy. I can say nice things about people. I think he's an intelligent guy, but I think emotionally, he's probably at a 7th grade level. No matter what business he's in, IT, whatever, AI, whatever, you know. Does he have money? Probably does. But spend some time. Go on some trips. You know, do something with your supposed lady or wife, whatever she's supposed to be. Spend more time doing those things rather than, you know, waiting for that bell to ring. Oh, this guy's got a show on. I got to get on there and I got to make a comment. That's pretty sad. He's usually just in chat, yeah. Oh, that's right. I didn't see his show. Apparently, I actually never knew he had a channel. He had 2 subscribers, I think he said. He did a little skit, a very creative AI or something on there. That's supposed to be interesting. I still haven't gotten around to that. I'll check that out later. And I think Barry was predominantly, I think, the subject in there. I'll have to check that out. He has the talent. I wouldn't be surprised if he's behind a lot of this shit, copycat channels and all kinds of shit. I would not be surprised. Because apparently Don has a lot of time on his hands. Why does he spend his money and do some things that are actually very favorable for his life rather than becoming a troll on YouTube of all things? If he applied for a mental disability, he'd get it. Then everybody's asking about Roberto. Alive or dead? I don't know. But what I do know is that something's going on. Because there's no way in the world, of course I know that guy, there's no way in the world he wouldn't come on and make comments somewhere or put something on his own show attacking me or my girlfriend. There's no way. Unless something radical happened in his life. Death or whatever it might be. Depression or I don't know. I can't say, and I can't intellectually say that on my show that I know exactly what's going on, but I know him. It's been a long while, and there's no way in the world that Roberto ain't going to do some kind of a little show or something regarding me or make comments somewhere. So something obviously is going on. And I think some people might know, but they don't want to disclose it because they figured it would, you know, if something was bad, they figured, well, it's going to benefit me to know that. So they're being really hush-hush about what's going on with him. Popeye is playing this video. It's on Popeye's channel. Oh, in other words, he's simulcasting me right now? What you're trying to say? He always does that. What's new with that? Maybe he'll learn something. I suppose he went to bingo for New Year's or something, or maybe he went to the casino.
One person I haven't been listening to is Nico. I have not been listening to his show. I don't want to care about his grass. But the last time I seen something of his grass, it looked awfully bad. It looked pretty bad. All the money he spent on fertilizers and this and that, and referring to his grass as she, like it's a female. That's a little bit bizarro world right there. He talks about Popeye and Bingo, yeah. They never met. Why is that? Because Popeye's hiding from everybody, that's why. He don't want anybody to know currently what he looks like. And he hides behind that protective veil of his computer and the fact that he's not in the Philippines, he's in Florida. But everybody's got his address. If really somebody wanted to do something to that piece of shit that, you know, they have the opportunity to do it. And as I said, many times I heard when he had a real bad adversary that said he was going to be in the area, he got off YouTube for quite a while. He went and hid. That's exactly what he did. Did he not? Okay, last night, Barry's show, that was embarrassing. That was really embarrassing for him to even put that on. Mostly, he put the camera on a stand in one direction. Not the band, but he put the camera on one direction to photograph the so-called activity of this detention center downstairs. There was a Coca-Cola bottle there. I did see a bottle of booze there, and I know damn well he was drinking. He could deny it all he wants. I could tell the way he was talking. He was really very out there with his personality, his wonderful personality, and he was drinking, getting drunk at a detention center that's put out and run by the Bureau of Immigration. That's really a scar on the face of immigration, to allow him to do what he does there. But like I said, let him enjoy his accommodations now, because there's no guarantee he's going to be leaving the country anytime soon. There's no guarantee he's going to be staying in that accommodation. He's got it pretty cushy over there, despite the horrible conditions. It could be worse. It could be Bikitan or Billy Bad or whatever, Billy Dad, the other place. He's got it, comparatively, it's cushy. Use of his phone. He's got appliances like coffee makers, something that could boil water to make coffee. He's got it made in the shade. But that may not last very long. Oh, he's suffering in there. Don't ever think he's not. He doesn't want to be there. He wants to walk the streets and go back to doing whatever he did before. He'd like to go to Bamboozers and hang there, chase ass, drink, get punch drunk. That's what he does. It's killing him. Although with his cockiness, he's going to say, oh, I could handle it. I could handle anything. Well, we've heard him how many thousand times saying, I just don't want to be in here anymore. I want out of here. This is not comfortable. But then he'll turn around and say, oh, I could handle anything. Well, I guess if you've been there for a while, now it's about 21 months officially now. 21 now? 27 was made it 21 months. He's going to be there for a while until they decide differently and decide to put him somewhere else. Whether they're really just true that they're going to renovate the place, he's got to get out of there, or he gets transferred to a prison. Either way, it's not going to be pleasant for him. Forget the marriage, forget the bail. 2024 review, that's what we're doing here. None of that's going to happen. But he gets by psychologically by creating this illusion and delusion that all this is going to happen. He's going to marry his girlfriend, make the promises of sun, moon, and the stars to keep her coming by, to keep her coming back. She's very gullible and naive, obviously so. It's not a bad thing to say about her. It's just a factual thing. If she's with him, she's very gullible, very naive. And he's making a lot of promises that he can't keep. He's issuing checks that are not cashable. There's another terminology for that. It's really hot in there. I would imagine so. I would imagine it would be. And a fan is just not going to cut the mustard. Because all the fan is really doing is blowing hot air on you. But I guess it's better than nothing. The year in review. If you want to add anything, feel free to. I'm not going to be on here all morning. Year in review. Been quite an interesting one indeed. An interesting past couple of years, actually. Where do you think this is all heading? Well, for one, I'm utilizing today, which is the beginning of the new year, to do this year in review, but beyond today's show, what is my plans? Can't tell you everything, but there's going to be two things. One, that after this year in review, that I'm not doing any more shows, not even any uploads, or second option. And what was the second option? Okay. I just got distracted from a comment here. I saw the guys had their t-shirt rolled up. It was so hot. Yeah, I imagine it was. Yeah. And secondly, if I'm still on, I'm going to have to curtail all this legal talk and just let it take its course. Now, of course, he's going to be still continuing shows, obviously so. And they're always going to be geared somewhere. Even the shows, I'm not talking about this guy no more. And no more than 30 seconds to 60 seconds, he's already talking about me again. I can't control what he does, but he has to realize that everything he does on YouTube can be used against him in a court of law. And where do you think I've been getting all this evidence from? From him, from himself. I don't have to do a lot of work at all except copy something. That's not hard. And for a guy that wants his freedom, he's not really working very hard toward that, I would say. Popeye probably got old gin rummied out last night with his dog. He's got one of these little yelper dogs, That's the only female, I guess it's a female. It's the only female he's ever gotten in a long while. Right, Robert? I know he's doing a simulcast. Then he'll do his little soliloquy at the end of the show. Well, this guy is blah, 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 blah. Jesus Christ, Popeye, get a fucking life. Do something. Anything. Anything's got to be improvement upon how you're living your life right now. And you have been for the past umpteen years. Without a woman. Without hope of getting a woman. Going on your YouTube shows and creating ridiculous, very repetitive skits that utilizes some of the same material you've used over and over and over and over and over again, nonstop. You're not different than Barry. You're very bitter. You ain't got the greatest life. And you got to take out all your bitterness on somebody else. That's not living your retirement, man. As far as I'm concerned, it's not. Let's see. Jim says, I give Barry credit. He can handle the brutal heat. Well, it's like, what choice does he have? It's not that he could handle it. And to tell you what, under those situations, He's got to be getting skin rashes and shit in his groin and everything else. Maybe he don't talk about that, but I'll tell you what, he has to. I really honestly doesn't think he showers every day, not even one shower. I think that guy could probably go through 5 days or more without a shower, maybe even longer. He might rag himself off or something with a wet towel or something, but I noticed that he had this hygienic liquid. It's for people that don't take showers and you put water on a rag and put this stuff on it and you put it on your body and clean your body with it. um, yeah, that's some pretty horrible living conditions. That's for damn sure. Now, as far as him handling the brutal heat, well, there's really no choice. Well, I'll tell you what, if he's still going to be in there in March and April and so forth, that's the hot season, the hotter season. And that'll be brutal again. That'll be really brutal. But I'm telling you, he gets what he deserves. I said, I have no compassion for him whatsoever. None. I have no reason to be compassionate for him, and nobody else needs to be compassionate for him. Oh, he's been through enough. No, he hasn't. He's in there for immigration. The only reason he's been in there that long is because there's a case against him. And he will remain there until the case is over. Or if something is settled, if it's monetarily, like paying some attorney fees and shit like that, he'll still remain in jail until he can pay off those fees. Now, I kind of made an online deal. It's not written in stone yet because I have to wait to talk to my attorney after the holiday's over. But I wrote him, though. I didn't talk to him on the phone. I said, initially I said, forget about the 250. We're going for 650 on this. But I did mention that, if he does certain things that he needs to do, we'll keep it at 250, which is a lot easier to pay off than 650,000 pesos. It's a big difference. That's the only, as I said, it's the only bending of the wind I'm going to do with him. Either takes those terms or it's thrown out the window. Either way. We'll just go back to the 650K. That means he'll have to be incarcerated a lot longer. If the judge allows this, if judge allows the attorney fees when this case is over. But in the interim, he's going to be exactly where he's at or somewhere else. He's not getting out anytime soon, and he ain't getting married on January 31st. I think even Robert, who's simulcasting me right now, would admit that. It's not going to happen, and for the reasons I've stated, what I don't need to go into again. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's for sure. Unless there's some kind of some divinity going on, some divine miracle that happens. I don't see that happening. Well, it's be a lot easier than 650K, Jim. A lot easier, more feasible. He'll get somebody with deep pockets like Big E or Mick Fisher or somebody to put out the money. That's change in their pocket. Those guys have money. And they seem to have some compassion. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But they seem to have some compassion for him because they've helped them before. Oh, Mick Fisher's given Barry money. He certainly has. He certainly has. And Big E has certainly given Barry money. Why do you think Barry last week said, Big E, if you're out there, if you hear me, give me your call. Well, what does he need to talk to Big E for? Unless it's you're going to suck up to him again and, ask for more money. Oh, I got to get bail, man. I got to get out of here. Nobody wants to help him out because, it's history repeating itself over and over again. What he does with the money. Nobody feels sorry for him anymore. You might think he has some avid supporters out there. They're not avid supporters in the sense that they really give a shit about him. They want him to stay there. But some of them also want him to go home. It's not because, get the guy out of jail and go home. They want him to go home because they want to see the new train wrecks of him being back in the United States and what he's going to have to go through to try to survive in the economy of the United States. It's not the Philippines. You might complain that it's getting expensive here in the Philippines, but it's still not comparative. He'll be in somebody's garage or a cardboard box or some rundown old abandoned bus or something, and that's the life he wants for him and his girlfriend. God bless her. God bless her. If that's the life she wants. But, well, I'll leave whatever I have to say out of this. I kind of expressed my thoughts and opinion on this. Yeah, 5,000 USD. That's chicken shit. My lawyer's fees are more than double that amount. That's why I came up with the 650K. I'm giving him a break. And that's the only break I'm going to give him, but he has to work for it. He knows there has to be something done before that happens. And something else before I turn in his second case. Look, I'm not playing games here, man. I'm beyond game playing here. It's never been a game anyway. He cooperates or he doesn't. And then it's status quo. We'll continue from there. It's a new year. I got a different vision of where I want to take this. And got to finish whatever business I started. Those cats. That's my goal. If I had a goal, that's what's going to be. I want to finish unfinished business and get on with my year and get on with my life. Enough is enough already. Not going to feel sorry for that fucking goober. I have no reason to feel sorry for him. Absolutely none. Absolutely no reason. Oh, come on, Frank. Why don't you... Then he's over there begging. Oh, man, well, you want to put a guy away for 30 years? Put him life in prison for calling you a stupid name? Well, I'm not going to start getting into that again. Again with the... He admitted he was wrong, but it doesn't change the fact of what he did and the repercussions all these years as a result of his continuous, his proliferation of the same fucking shit, even though he knows he has these charges on him. Sorry, guys. I'm loaded with compassion, but I'm top loaded with compassion, but not for him. Not for him.